Hey guys, check out this next clip where Dr. Kincaid digs into what it really means to be a child of God, how that works in theory through the Bible, but also what it looks like in our practical daily lives. Take a look.
In that, we are given a real divine sonship. A real divine sonship. And what do I mean by real versus, say, fake? Well, some people think our adoption as Christians is merely a legal adoption. Right? So you sign the papers, you're in the family, right? But it's more like you're a stepchild maybe, or something like that, or it's a forensic activity. Right? Oh, you're now legally mine. Well, it's certainly the case that when we're sons and daughters, we're legally adopted. But is there more than that? And I would suggest yes, because as Paul states, our sonship is not just legal, it's about being in Jesus himself. So I haven't had you open yet, but this is to drive this point home. I want to really emphasize this. Turn to Romans 8, please. This happens to be one of the famous or favorite passages of Derry Connolly. I wish I could spend more time at it for his sake, but I'll at least make a few points. Look in particular at one of the most famous verses for Paul, Romans 8:28. We know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. A lot of people take great consolation from that verse, which is spectacular. But there's more meat on the bone. Let's keep digging. For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of the Son, in order that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. And then Paul continues, those he predestined, he called. Those he called, he justified. Those he justified, he glorified. Look at the way Paul does that linguistically, or at least his grammar. He says twice about predestination. Those he predestined them to be what? Conformed to the image of the Son. Then he says, those he predestined, he called, justified, and glorified. So what's he saying? When we are called in Christ, our predestination in our sonship is not just merely legal. He's saying it's to become like Jesus. We are meant to be conformed to him. It's such a real divine sonship. Our divine sonship is about being conformed to the image of Jesus. It's real, it's in our bodies, it demands everything that we are, it's who we are. It's not merely legal. Now, someone might press back and say, that sounds great. What the heck does that mean? Does Jesus take over our bodies? Right? Do people start calling us Jesus? I would strongly advise against that. Here's my fourth point. It means conformity to the person of Jesus. Conformity, in particular, to his divine humanity. That's the fourth point. Our salvation means conformity to the divine humanity of Jesus. In a certain sense, it's not rocket science. Right? It's living our embodied lives like his.
There's so much more content from this conference, so many more connections made. Check out the link in the description so you can get access to all the talks in full. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.